Okay, final step on this one is doing add-ons. So now, when I say final step, I could come back in and add more texture and more surface to some things. That is not like, oh no, now that I'm done with that, I can't ever do it anymore. Especially if things get deformed, I can come back in and move and shape and make them work as well. This one is, like I mentioned earlier, this piece is this is my actual one that I just made right over here. But it needs to dry a little bit. And so I'm going to set it off to the side. This is one I prepared earlier for this. So things that I need on this one, I'm going to need a head, I need a tail, and I need 4 feet or something like that. Now, depending on the type of turtle you're making, it maybe dictate what you're trying to do. And so let's start out, for me anyway, I wanted to start out with the head on that. Okay, so I need to make it kind of look like a turtle head. I'm not really sure what a turtle head looks like. And that's the thing. I have students that may ask, they may come to me and say, Mr. White, how do you make a turtle head? I said, well, I would probably look online and see what a turtle head looks like. That's the whole idea, the research part of it, right? That's what I would do if I was trying to make a turtle. Or I'd just kind of guess and see if it looks like a turtle. But usually looking online is not a bad solution. So I have the basic shape of my turtle head here on this one. And I think the turtle head is going to go on this side a little bit. And so I'm going to make a little bit of a dent here so that his head can stick out. Flip it over like this, and then scoring and slipping, I have the basic shape of my turtle head. He's going to go right in here like this. Okay, something like that. Okay, so I'm going to score and slip. So first going to score the back side, and then I'm going to score the back side of this where it's going to be joined together. Put a little bit of slip on there, and put a little bit of slip on here, and then take the piece and make sure we're kind of in the right place, and then I'm going to press it on here, and I'm going to take and I'm actually going to press and maybe even blend it together like this so that it sticks really, really well on that. I'm not trying to make the underside of the turtle, right? I'm just trying to make it look so when it's sitting on the table or on a that sort of a thing, he looks like a turtle. And I'm going to have the mouth, the head angled up a little bit, so we're doing that. All right, so from the side, it's up a little bit. And I'm going to take and put an eyeball in here. Remember I said I could carve out an eye, or I can just make more like a hollow socket and use the dark hole as an eye, and that's what I chose to do on this one. Better make them about the same height. So that's always an easy solution for an eyeball, is just a dark hole, a dark place, right, on those for the eye. So you could do something like that. Okay, a foot. So how does a foot look on this one? I think I want more of a sea turtle type of a thing, and so I think that a sea turtle has they have these rounded things. Like I said, I could find that out a little better if I was actually looking online on that, but I feel pretty confident in this one that we have kind of a windswept sort of a look like that. And I'm going to eventually need 4 of those. Okay, so there's one, and let's see if we can make another one here, just a little bit of a windswept sort of a look. The reason why I haven't joined that one yet is I need to make these about the same size. And so for ease of measuring, and then I need to make it smooth, so I'm taking to smooth this out. Okay, that's looking like a little bit of a footy. And then I'm just going to take it and kind of set it on top, and I'm going to make sure that these are similar enough in look to make my feet. Okay, roll it so it's a little pointed, squish it out flat. If I can remember the technique that I used to make one, I could probably make 2 or 3 using that same technique, and that was it right there. That worked out pretty good. I like that. So we take a little bit of clay, roll it out so it's pointy, squish it flat, and round it. That's looking pretty good. So now I have 4 feet that I can put on there. So we're going to flip it over, and I'm going to put one right here. So I'm going to scratch this surface right there. I'm going to take this one here. I'm going to scratch this surface, score that. Little bit of slip, little bit of slip, and then I'm going to take and I'm going to press it on this way, and then I'm going to fold it over kind of like that. So from the top it looks kind of like that. Okay, so let's put another one on the other side. We'll put all 4 of them on. Now overlapping something is probably the best technique there is for making something look realistic. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean that the shell is overlapping the head and the feet, and so that's over what I mean by overlapping. Push this down this way a little bit. So when I look at it from the top like this, we have my turtle sitting here in this thing. When I look at my turtle, the shell is on top of or overlapping the flippers and the head, and that creates a natural separation in these places, so it makes it look realistic, is what I'm trying to do. Also, in your sculpture, make sure you don't have things that stick out too far. If things stick out too far and they're really, really thin, there's a really good chance they're going to break off. And so please make sure that you don't have things sticking out far, 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 far. I'm going to squish that guy on right there. Here's the pressure part, right? We talked about scoring, slipping, then pressure with those. And so I scoring, slipping. Oops, wrong side. Wrong side. Scoring, slipping, and then pressure. So put the squeeze play to it. Okay? And then it will look a little bit more, it'll stay together better. Okay, so now we'll flip him over, see how he's looked. So, look at that, he's got little feeties. How cool. And so a tail, he needs a tail. So I'm just going to roll out a coil for a tail. Now, like I said, I don't want the tail sticking out too far, and so we'll flip him back over here, and then the tail section I'm going to score, and that's too long, that's too much of a tail, and then I'm going to score this part right here. I'm going to apply a little bit of slip and pressure, and then we're going to roll that tail out like that. So now what I got, and we'll make the tail just a little curl. I have my turtle. Pretty cool. From the side view, he looks kind of like this, right? So I've utilized overlapping as a thing. I've used pressed in decorations as a thing. I would expect that you would be doing the same, that you have some sort of a surface treatment on your pieces for something. As you make your details. So I really am looking for detail on this one, on those sort of things. And so that's a simple construction of a animal pinch pot utilizing the bowl and then adding on features to create a sculpture on those. Kind of cool. And now it's light enough that it's going to fire it. If I tried to make this out of one solid piece, boom, it blows up, right? But it's all hollowed out on the back side, and so it should be able to fire pretty well. Oh, I do need to put my initials on the bottom on that one. So just inside over here, I'm going to put my initials. So I got myself an R, sort of. Have an R, then a W, like that. And then the class period. This is 3. That way it's a little bit easier to track if I got my initials in the bottom. Okay, now we're set. And that's it. That's how you make an animal pinch pot. Now, mine, you may have one that needs more detail. You may not. I'm going to leave that up to you. The more detail, the more time you've invested in it, the better it looks, the more points you get on those. And so that's it.